Good evening. This is Point Blank at KENYANS. Mheshimiwa, with regard to a historic perspective, governments always have problems, and particularly here in Kenya, problems come and somehow solutions are found. Jomo Kenyatta had a real major fallout with the former Vice President, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, and he was able to find a solution that even included making a political alliance with retired President Daniel Arap Moi. And that even led to Moi's presidency because the move then changed the political sphere to the extent that even a Moi presidency was possible. Then when Moi became president, the push and pull within his government even required a point where he had to have a handshake with Raila Odinga. Then comes Kibaki and the contentious election that even led to, Kofi Annan and eventually a handshake. Then the other day, there was also a handshake between Kenyatta and Odinga. Now, where we are politically, given the depth of the Kenyatta-RUTO fallout, the country is torn between the Keleweke and the Tanga-Tanga. The country is really, honestly, apprehensive, even within government, where and how and what is the way forward, Mheshimiwa?
They say the more things change, the more they remain the same. And history has a way of repeating itself. Where we are now, I think the president finds himself at a crossroads. Because on the one hand, he has a very disloyal deputy. And on the other hand, there's nothing much he can do because in terms of removing him, because the Constitution does not give him the opportunity to remove him. So what options does he have? Well, if I were to look at the scenario of his father, President Kenyatta, the late, I would look at a situation where, like I said earlier, we will have to find ways of bringing in the other leaders. Because what is the value of this disloyal deputy? So that's why I was talking about bringing in graduating the handshake beyond the handshake between him and Odinga. I am happy the other day that Mheshimiwa Kalonzo was appointed by the president to be a peace envoy for Sudan. We have other forces, including my party chairman, Mheshimiwa Gideon Moi. We have Murathe out there who is trying to fashion himself as a main critic of government. He needs to come in. So he needs to be brought into government. And the others, including even Mheshimiwa Wetangula, I'm seeing a situation where this country will have everybody inside government. Then let whoever wants to walk out. And because when we have a situation where the deputy president is actually the effective leader of opposition in government, that is exactly what we have now. So the only option for the president is to bring in all these other communities and leaders.
So in fact, the rainbow government, the famous rainbow government, the Tosha, the Tosha government, had come in to stabilize the country at that time. Are you seeing the political will from where you sit that this handshake, in your word, can be graduated? Is there more appetite to expand the space? There was a lot of hostility when Odinga first shook the hand. It was secret. Is there more appetite now?
I think there is. Kenyans, as we speak now, are more receptive to the idea of bringing in others. The only person who is not receptive is the deputy president.
There was an opinion poll, Point Blank, the other day. He said 80%, I think, of Kenyans support the handshake. So what I'm asking Point Blank to you is that would KANU and be sitting on a table with other political like-minded people, with a view of graduating, expanding the handshake? Is that a way forward as a solution?
Yes, it is. We are actually actively campaigning for it, because that is the only way. Like I said earlier, the kind of formation the kind of situation we have in terms of the current constitution, as I said, is completely untenable moving forward. The only person who wants to inherit the system the way it is the deputy president, for whatever reasons he has. For whatever reasons he has, I not know why he wants to inherit the system the way it is. Because even him, I'm sure he sees that it's not a good system, but for whatever, those are his reasons. He will explain himself. But I'm saying the rest of Kenyans, including us in KANU, would like to see a situation where there is more inclusivity in terms of the management of the affairs of the country. We want to see a situation where we have a team of about 5 or so leaders that are running top leadership of the country, not 2.
So, Mheshimiwa, I want to ask you point blank, because I was asked by David Murathe here, to send a message to your chairman, yes, Gideon Moi.
Yes.
So now that you're here, let me send you a message and ask you this. When these rallies and all these political activities are going around the country to expand and unite Kenya and so on, why is Gideon absent?
You will see us moving very soon. We've just been loading. And as I said earlier, watch this space. Still waters run very, very deep. And I want to stress, I want to stress what I said earlier. We have a lot of respect for President Kenyatta. When he says, let us tone down politics, we are just being respectful to the president.
That's not my question. I've agreed.
What I've said is this. You will see us moving forward. You will see a lot more.
This is what I'm asking, because there's going to be a tour of Central Kenya, which is being planned right now, yes, by State House. And you will see Kalonzo
so you're
there.
Speaking like as if you work in State House.
This is point blank.
Anyway, let me say this.
We do research.
If the president see you in Kiambu, let me just tell you that.
Yes.
Let's see you in your hometown of Thika. You will find us there.
Because I imagine seeing the first trip after all these crises have happened, seeing Odinga and Kalonzo and yourselves and Mudavadi and Wetangula, it will send a very strong signal.
Of course, and we are all together, except one. Except the other one.
So
we are all in this together.
So will Kenyans see you together, talking economics, not politics?
Yes.
You can go and talk development.
Of course. That's what I'm saying. You will see us move. You will see us moving
anyway,
forward.
Murathe amesikia, nimekuuliza. Sasa a message.
I appreciate people like Murathe are actually. Murathe is I believe, is a political supporter of Gideon Moi. That's why he wants him to come out, just like many other Kenyans who want to see him out. But we are saying we are doing it methodically. And we are being respectful to the president and to Kenyans. Because, you do not want to
I'm not going to let you escape there. Sasa umetoboa mambo mazuri hapa. So Murathe na Gideon Moi wanafanya pamoja.
No, what I'm saying only... I would imagine that when you're the one who said that Murathe is asking, where is he? Because if he didn't like him, he would not be asking for him.
But it's
and what I'm saying is that if Murathe can be a supporter, then we would really appreciate his support.
I don't wonder he said he cannot be where RUTO is. Kumbe kuna kitu inaendelea na Murathe na Gideon. And I did know this.
Well,
I did know this.
Murathe is a very intelligent politician. I'm sure anybody would like to have such a person as their friend. I met him when he was MP. And I met him recently when I went to Gatanga for a function. And I think he's a very good-minded leader. And I think we have a lot in common.
In order to move on, he has told me, and he has said it here, there is a political formation that is being made that will include Uhuru Kenyatta. He said it here. Then he told me Gideon has lagged behind. Now you are telling me now Gideon amesonga karibu. Sasa hiyo tumeweka haya. Kalonzo was here. I asked him the question. Murathe has not told me yet. Wetangula has not told me. So there is something happening.
There is only one bright star that should shine at any one time. And that bright star is President Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, there is no other star that should compete with the sun when the sun is shining. Even when the sun comes up and finds the moon up, the moon just fades off. The only star that is trying to shine as brighter as the sun is this one of the deputy president. He wants, that is his mistake. And every other day, they are digging deeper into a hole. I was watching the other day, his key lieutenant, Mheshimiwa Sudi, abusing Bwana Matiang'i, abusing PS Kibicho, indirectly abusing the president, really, because those are the president's employees. So they are digging deeper into the hole every day. What we are saying is this: we are a shining star, but when the sun is up, we must fade. The moon and the sun must respect each other.
Now, coming to the issue of the security of the state, you touched on earlier in the interview that should anything happen to the deputy president, given even the experiences of the ICC and the kind of loss of life that this country has seen, is there a role for the National Assembly to play? Or are you going to leave this to the judicial process? Is there any line of inquiry that can be made at a parliamentary level in order for there to be some kind of independent inquiry? Because this matter cannot be strictly legal. To my mind, there is a lot of political connotations to creating a victim, to creating sympathy. It could be a strategy, and I put it to you at the beginning of the program, that if your intention is to leave the government, your intention is to go man solo and lead the hustler nation, for example, would it not be necessary to look at the political machination outside the legalese? Because sometimes I feel even with corruption, the problem is we look too much at the legalese and we forget about why people are doing these things in order to gain politically.
Okay, that's another option. I think most members, this was, like I said, it was a very dangerous card that was being played. And I think most members of parliament and most leaders are, first of all, studying to see what comes out of the legal situation, because it's now already a matter in court. Let's see how. I heard Mr. Gentleman the other day saying he has a tape, Mr. Itumbi, alleging that there was a meeting, but even the accused persons did not deny the presence of a meeting. Mheshimiwa Peter Munya said very clearly that there was a meeting, and there are meetings about development. So I think most people have adopted a wait and see in terms of looking at the legal aspect of it. How will it go? And I believe those investigations are not yet fully over. They are still, I believe there are others who are still being sought. But
so to finish the issue, Parliament has done many investigations, even when, the Mwangale Commission, there has been many things. Parliament has looked at Goldenberg, agro-leasing. Agro-leasing was led by the president now, when he was chairman of PSC. But are you saying right now Parliament has not entertained the question, because imputing improper motives on cabinet secretaries affects of government, and Parliament has an oversight. Has it not been discussed? Or
I think that like I said, the issue that has held people back, I believe, is the issue of the current court matter. That is what is holding people back, because we want to see, first of all, how the legal situation will unfold. I believe in the next few days, you will see more and more
One more issue I want to ask you on
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Did you find it strange for the National Intelligence Service to be brought into a normal criminal matter? That caught my eye. Did it catch yours?
It cannot be strange because, you know, a situation of that nature requires that all agencies must come in. So I do not find it strange at all. I think it was only normal that the NIS must erupt in.
And I'm told the DCI may reach even abroad.
Yes, they are even Scotland Yard.
FBI, is it?
Yes. Oh. Because, you know, if this matter comes back to the office of the Deputy President, I am telling you this, he will not escape. If indeed it turns out that he is the one, he is the soul, he is the author of his own assassination story, he will not escape.
And Mheshimiwa, I'm not going back to what we've canvassed, but I said Point Blank has investigated this. And we asked, do you see this as a plan for a resignation that he's planning? Because one thing must give in, it is what you say. Action will be taken, or he has planned to leave.
No, you know, I will say this. That gentleman, whatever he is planning, you know, history has a way of paying back. So in my view, is whether he leaves or stays, it's a question of you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's how I see it. Because you know, you cannot walk into State House just like that.
Professor,
things don't work that way in the Republic of Kenya.
On a lighter note, Professor Kagwanja was here.
Mheshimiwa Kibaki ran for president 3 times. And remember, he was a vice president for a long time.
Yes. I
see a situation where the mileage that Mheshimiwa Kibaki took, you will have to take that the same mileage.
you know, on a lighter note, Professor Kagwanja was here and he was quoting some heavy literature. And he said that UHURU has crossed, RUTO has crossed the Rubicon.
Yes.
And UHURU has crossed the Rubicon. And they have crossed with the armies. and he said it's a point of no return. Are you saying with this action alone, if it is proved as alleged, you're saying that is the beginning of the end?
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
And I'm asking then, if that is the case, don't you think that what I asked you matters? What if that was what was expected? What if it was planned in the end, and the Deputy President is waiting just for timing to make his move and resign in a half and call on his hustler nation to rise? And maybe he has made a plan and maybe he's ready for it. And he says out there that he's not a coward. Yes. So I'm putting it to you politically. He cannot be naive. He can't be so skillful as a politician and know that he's not ready to walk the talk. Other politicians who have tried it have had to leave government. Kibaki, Matiba, Jaramogi Odinga. What is different here? What can't I see?
If that is his plan, please, the sooner he does, the better. Because, like I said earlier, we are ready to come in. The sooner he does, the sooner he exits, the better. Let him go and chart his own course. Because definitely, clearly, it seems like he does not believe in the president anymore. So the sooner he does, the better. That's my response to that. The sooner he does,
I want to move on to the cabinet secretaries.
Yeah.
Particularly, I saw this lady Kobia, poor lady, because somebody I know, and so on. What happens to their reputations if these allegations are not proved? And you've heard that the call has been made to the highest investigative authorities that these cabinet secretaries, and they are named individually. I saw the other day a group trying to isolate one and not the 3. What happens to their reputation?
I had Peter Munya the other day when he was being interviewed say that they will, once the investigations are complete, they will consider measures, both jointly or individually, measures against their accusers. But even as you look at those accusations, if there is any, because what the deputy president has done is indirectly accuse the president of planning against him. That's exactly what he has done. So I would expect that even in the president's backyard, where the deputy president has been trying to tour a lot, there is already a reaction that if this gentleman can think so badly about us, what else can he do?
I want to ask you,
so I believe there is a political reaction already in Central, and that's what we saw the other day when Mheshimiwa Kiunjuri went to Nyeri. You saw that reaction. Already, all the investments that the deputy president had done in Mount Kenya region is already going down because of that. Those allegations that he made against...
I want to ask you point blank. I want you to answer me point blank. The rest have been allegations, but the interior PS, Kibicho, has himself taken himself to Kiamburu, or is it Kiamburu?
Yes, Kiamburu, yes.
And he has written a statement that he is scared. He is being intimidated by the deputy president. I am just asking, for a father, for a man who is living a normal life, working for the public service, to go and seek protection from the CID, from the deputy president, this is unheard of. Mheshimiwa, you help me, you're my fellow journalist. I don't know, it's come a movie, come and drama.
Come and drama.
I mean, honestly.
That is why I said earlier, I have a lot of respect to the investigative agencies, whatever they are doing now, and I believe they would not have arrested Mr. Itumbi for nothing, without going into the merits and demerits of that matter. But as I said earlier, in the fullness of time, if it is found in no uncertain terms, that this whole affair began from the office of the deputy president, he will not escape. And
I am saying to you point blank, and you're darking me. Yes. When the principal in charge of security in Kenya, Kibicho is the principal assistant to Matiang'i, when he says to the CID, I am scared of the deputy president.
You know what I'm saying?
What is left in the
States? Already, what I'm saying, politically, there is already a reaction, politically. But legally, we are waiting. We are also waiting for the legal aspect of it and the investigative aspect of it. But politically, there is already a reaction to the negative. And all the investments he had done, I believe so. And I saw a tip of it in Nyeri last week. All the investments he had done in Central is completely now gone to West. Because the people of Central, I believe, they're saying that if the deputy president can think so badly about us, about the ministers who come from our region, then that's exactly what he also thinks about the president. That's what he thinks about our community. That's what he thinks about us. So he's already suffering politically. So what we're only waiting now is for the other aspect of the investigation and the legal aspect. Now, that is now as now what I'm saying, that he will not escape. Because, nobody is above the law. Nobody is above the law. And we said last week when we were addressing the media from Parliament, that I even asked the DCI to stop at nothing, including the charging of the deputy president. If the Chief Justice, Deputy Chief Justice is in court over matters, why can't the deputy president be in court? That's what I'm saying. But he's already suffering politically. For me, as a politician, that is very good, because he is the author of his own issues. Yeah.
Well, this is KTN News. You've been watching Point Blank with Mheshimiwa Kamket. He says that all is not well in Rome. that the allegations of an assassination plot will have to give in one way or the other. He says if allegations are proved, then action will be taken, even if it's the deputy president. And you're watching Point Blank here at KTN. Mheshimiwa, asante sana for coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You make sure your KANU is not missing in action. I'll tell Murathe.
We are in.
Asante sana.
We are in.
It's KTN.
Point Blank by TG was filmed on location at the Nairobi Serena Hotel.